Hello students, this video I am going to make on the chapter of classification of plants of class 7 standard. Okay, so I have already made one video on this chapter. This is the second video. So in this video I am going to discuss few selected topics. Okay, the first I am going to discuss is the bacteria. Is a very important part of this chapter. So bacteria, all of us we know that it's a microscopic organism. If you remember a flowchart I have given in my last video of this chapter, if you would have learned the flowchart, automatically the type of organism, some of the characteristics or features you'll be able to know on your own. So if you remember that, okay, bacteria comes under Monera kingdom. The kingdom is given solely for Monera, bacteria. It is a prokaryotic organism. So prokaryotic means it doesn't have a well-defined nucleus. Okay. Now I'm going to show you different types of bacteria. This classification of bacteria. Okay, on the basis of their shape. On the basis of their shape, if I divide, first it comes the coccus. The bacteria group known as coccus. Coccus is a singular number. Okay, and if I add a plural number, it's cocci. C-O-C-C-I. So coccus is a bacteria which is of spherical shape. Spherical shape bacteria. Okay. The next one, Bacillus. Bacillus is a rod shaped bacteria. Okay, so it's a spherical shape almost. Bacillus is a rod shaped bacteria. The next one, Spirillum. Okay, which is of spiral shape. Okay, like this. And the last one is the Vibrio. Vibrio or Vibrio. Okay, it is of comma shaped, means like this, comma shaped. Okay, so these are the four different groups of bacteria on the basis of their shape, different shapes. Okay, size, as we know, they are microscopic, can be seen under microscope. With naked eyes it is not possible to see them. Okay, now I am going to draw one particular bacteria. Okay, when you are studying biology, remember that diagram is very important part of this subject. Okay, so first I am going to draw a bacteria here. I will show you the labelings of bacteria. Suppose this is a bacteria and it has an outer layer, outermost layer, which is known as cell wall. Okay, cell wall is the outermost layer. What else? Inside the cell wall we see cell membrane. Okay, it's the second layer. Now a very important coating is there over the cell wall. It's a proteinaceous coating, okay, over the cell wall. We cannot say it's a separate layer. It's just a coating. Okay, it is just a coating over the cell wall. Okay, so this is a capsule known as capsule. Purpose is protection. Okay, so if it is a layer, so let me just make it like this, so it will be easier for you to understand that it is not a separate layer. Outermost layer is the cell one only, but it's just a coating over the cell wall. Okay, it is just a coating over the cell wall. Fine. Now inside of this cell, as it is unicellular, so single cell, what is present inside here? Is a cytoplasm present here. Cytoplasm present here. Okay. What else? As it is a prokaryotic, so it doesn't have a nucleus. I mean, not a well-defined nucleus, but it has what? The nuclear materials are there. Okay. So nuclear materials at the center, suppose the nuclear materials are present here, the genetic substances. Okay. So nuclear material. Clear? These are some stored food substances. Okay. So this much is leveling for you for this standard. This much is of leveling of bacteria is enough. Yes, and one important part you can draw along with this. Let me show you that the bacteria. Okay, these are flagella. Flagella. Okay, these are actually like structures that help in the movement. Okay, of this bacteria. Okay. So this is a simple diagram with simple leveling for you. Clear? So you have to practice this. Cytoplasm to indicate inside, you can give dots here. Okay, to show the cytoplasm inside. That's it. A very simple diagram for you with the leveling. Clear? Okay. Now next, I am going to discuss with the topic of amoeba. Clear? So you must practice this. Okay. So next I am going to discuss is amoeba. So now it comes under which kingdom? Kingdom Protista, if you remember. So the properties, it is eukaryote. Okay, means it has a well-defined nucleus. Second, eukaryotic, but this is unicellular, single-celled. Okay, the Protista kingdom, the organism comes under Protista kingdom. They all are unicellular, but they're eukaryotes. They have a well-defined nucleus. Clear? So amoeba, protozoa, diatoms, they come under this kingdom. So amoeba, if I look at the structure, as you know that it doesn't have a proper shape. It doesn't have a proper shape. So it looks like this. It can be of any shape. Okay. Now if I see the structures inside, as it is a eukaryote, we see a nucleus. The first of all is a nucleus here. Okay. So nucleus, a well-defined nucleus is there in the amoeba. Clear? Apart from the what we see these are called food vacuoles. Food vacuoles. Okay. You also see contractile vacuole. See, food vacuoles where foods get stored, and this contractile vacuole is the excretory organ of the amoeba. Okay, excess of water in the body, they get stored here in the contractile vacuole. Okay, I'll be telling one by one. So, and one important thing is that this is the outer membrane called the cell membrane. and this one you can say the longest extended part. Some many direction the extension are there, but this is the longest one extension. So this is the pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. Clear? Now the first topic that I am going to discuss here after this, on the basis of this diagram, how amoeba move. Amoeba moves with the help of pseudopodia. Pseudopodia means false feet. Means they don't have exactly any feet. It's a single cell. But what happens is that you can see the bodies. The body is extended at different direction. But okay, it will the extension, the which will be the longest extension. We have to see that. That is the pseudopodia. And the direction in which the amoeba wants to move, okay, the longest extension should be in that direction. Clear? The amoeba, okay, extends its pseudopodia, the longest extension in compared to the other extensions. Okay, extends this pseudopodia in the direction the amoeba wants to move. So it helps in the movement, the pseudopodia. Clear? Nothing much technical thing is there. So suppose this wants to move, so you can do one thing, you can extend it a little more. Okay. So it is showing that the amoeba is moving in this direction. Understood? This is how only it moves. Now next, how an amoeba feeds. This is very interesting. See, whenever when the amoeba senses any food nearby its cell, it extends its any of the two pseudopodia towards the food. Okay, like for example, suppose a food is found, for example here. Okay, so now what will happen? Amoeba will extend its two pseudopodia towards it. Understood? Now slowly it will be extended more. So the next step, see, changes. This pseudopodia is moving near, closer to the food substances. And then what will happen? Some little bit changes will be here. See how the change is taking place. Okay, isn't it interesting? Okay, now see the next one. Now the final step. Okay, now the food gets inside of the amoeba. Okay, so this is the process by which the amoeba, catches or grasps its food, ingest its food. The foods are supposed to be stored in the food vacuoles, where many enzymes are there. Okay, they help in the digestion, the breaking down of the food particles inside the vacuole, food vacuole. Okay, now next is how amoeba excretes. See, I said in the beginning that contractile vacuole is the excretory organ. So when excess of water gets inside, stored in the contractile vacuole, then what happens? You know what is the main important excretory material, waste material in the amoeba? Is the ammonia. Okay, remember this. It is the ammonia, the most important waste generated in the amoeba cell. So amoeba is and ammonia is soluble in water. Okay, so and it gets dissolved in the water and it's stored in the contractile vacuole. And from here, by the process of diffusion, simple diffusion, okay, the waste along with the water comes out of the cell. A simple excretory mechanism. Okay. Next is how amoeba reproduces. Now, reproduces process if I want to see, so let's now rub this one. Okay. Now if you see the reproduction process, it is the binary fission. Mainly the binary fission, even we see multiple fission also in amoeba. Okay. So initially suppose it's a single amoeba with a nucleus. Okay. Then next step what will happen? The nucleus will be divided into two. First the nuclear division will take place in the cytoplasm. Okay, so nucleus divided into two. Okay, now the next is that the cytoplasm will separate with two separate cell amoeba. So first the nucleus divides into two. Okay, then there is splitting from in between, and it gets two separate cell with two separate nuclei. Very simple process of diffusion. Even it can be multiple cells also. If it is multiple fission, I mean also undergo multiple fission. Okay, fine. So now the next of this classification of plant chapter is the plant kingdom. Okay, plant kingdom. Plant kingdom. If you remember the flowchart, the first is the Thallophyta, the group of plants that come under Thallophyta group known as algae. Okay, they all are aquatic. They don't have any root, shoot, root, stem, leaves, nothing. They have the algae. Okay, spiderware is a very good example of algae. Okay, they don't have any stem, root, leaf, nothing, but they have chlorophyll. They can do photosynthesis. Very simple explanation of algae or Thallophyta. Okay. The next if we see is the Bryophyta. Bryophyta, very good example, the mosses. Everyone has seen the mosses. Okay, in the rainy season, but now it's rainy season going on nowadays. So in the rainy season, you will see the damp, moist areas on the soil surface, on the rock surface, on the bark of the plants or trees. You will see these mosses grow, green color. It looks like carpet area. You will see. Okay, so now these are known as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. They mainly grow on the soil, but they need water for reproduction. Okay, they have leaf-like structure. They have root-like structure or stem-like structure, but not exactly root, leaf, or stem. This has to be clear in your mind. Okay, they look like this, but not technically the root, stem, or leaves found in the biophytes. Clear? The next is the pteridophytes. Pteridophytes, you can say, the first terrestrial plant properly, you can say. Okay, terrestrial plants, for the first time we see the exact presence of root, stem, and leaves. The pteridophytes. Okay. Now they have spores. They also develop spores on the undersurface of the leaves. Those spores helps in the development of new plants. If they land on some damp soil, a moist surface, they grow and develop into a new plants. The spores. That is what we call sporulation, the reproduction process, asexual one. Okay. Now the gymnosperm and the angiosperm, these are the seed producing plants we already discussed in the last video. Gymnosperms, the seeds are not covered, they are naked. They don't, in the gymnosperms, they don't produce flower, they don't produce fruits. So the seeds are, open. Understood? Pine, fir, cedar, spruce, stuff, these plants found in the hilly areas, mountain areas. So these are the gymnosperms. So instead of flower, what they produce? They produce cones. Okay. So cones are look like, suppose if this is the different, suppose leaves are there. Okay. And then cones they develop is like this kind of structure. Okay. So cones they develop, okay, in the gymnosperm instead of flower. Clear? Now the last one is the angiosperms. Angiosperms are the only flowering plants in the plant kingdom. You have to remember this. As flower is there, the seeds are covered. Seeds are not naked. Seeds are covered within the fruit. And in the seeds, one very important structure developed known as cotyledons. Cotyledons are the structures that stores food. Present where? Present inside the seed. Okay, there may be one cotyledon in some plant seeds, there may be two cotyledons in some plant seeds. So there are monocots and dicots. Monocots means having one cotyledon in the seed. Dicot means two cotyledons inside seed. Okay. There is some very simple and basic discussion of the angiosperms and gymnosperms. Okay, nothing much there in your syllabus. Okay, so this some whatever basic things, basic informations, facts I have discussed with you. Okay, please note them down in your copy. Okay, though you have book, you also try to make some notes, some points on the basis of the discussion we are doing in this video. Okay, so I hope it will help you to understand a few of the topics. Now this plant kingdom I have not drawn while explaining. I have not drawn in diagram. It's not required. Okay, few one or two diagrams are there. Is there in your book only? So I didn't waste time. I did not waste time to draw those plants and all. Is there in the book itself? Very simple facts and important facts, but I shared with you. I hope this is going to help you a lot. Okay. So wait for my next video. Thank you so much.